Hello and welcome to another episode of the Expert CPG Commerce Podcast. My name is Ryan Flynn, the founder and CEO of Expert CPG Commerce, where we help brands reach more customers on Amazon and beyond. And today I'm super excited to welcome Dason Williams from the Clavel Corporation. Dason's the COO of Clavel, and he's going to talk about a couple of their products and the success they've had over the years. It's not an overnight success by any means. A couple of their products, Scarsoft and Blue Stop Max, which Blue Stop Max is sold nationwide. You can find it in pretty much any major retailer and drugstore out there. But again, it's great hearing the history of the brand and how it started. And it's not by any means a flash in the pan, right? It's a lot of hard work, trials and tribulations along the way, but a lot of success as well. So Jason's going to tell their story and dive into all that. And if you're a brand out there that is getting traction in the market, you're growing just like Clavel is with their brands, and you're on Amazon and you just don't know if you could be doing everything, right? You don't know if you're tweaking all the levers and if you're maximizing all the opportunity you have on Amazon. And you always wonder about that. We'd love to actually just show you what you could be doing on Amazon, right? You can go to expertcpg.com/audit, fill out some information, and we'll actually perform an in-depth account audit on your Amazon account. This includes things we can see on the page, right? The traditional everyday customer can see, and all stuff behind the scenes, advertising campaigns, utilization of Amazon programs, inventory, all that stuff. Because we actually want to not just tell you what we can do and what you can do on Amazon, we actually want to show you, right? So just go to expertcpg.com/audit and fill out the information, and we'll get back to you to see if you qualify. All right, let's continue the conversation now with Dason Williams from Clavel Corporation. All right, we're super excited to welcome Dason Williams to the show today. Dason is with Clavel Corporation, also a couple brands, Scarsoft and Blue Stop Max. We're going to cover all that today and dive into it. So Dason, welcome to the show today. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, Ryan. I really appreciate you guys. I've been with you since your name was Charmac, and now Expert CPG. So hopefully I'm a good interview for you. I'm a current client, a pretty proud client working with your group, and I'd be happy to tell a few yarns while I'm here.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them. And yeah, I mean, I remember actually when we first met up with you guys, like it was, we have to go into the whole Amazon store, but obviously it was just a different time of the company and different time on Amazon. And obviously things have changed a lot, but before we go there, let's go way back. Let's go back to the start of Clavel and then your whole history with it, obviously, as well. So take us back to the beginning stages of Clavel.
Sure, the genesis. Well, we're a family business. And the foundation is a surgeon. He's an MD, Dr. David Halbert, MD. And he's 92 years young. He's here today working in the office, checking on things, wow. Learning about my last Food Line trip and what radio ad I'm going to buy and blah, blah, blah. Definitely, David is a serial entrepreneur. He started about 30 companies and businesses in Texas, many that have global outreach now. And we're just another one of them. The story goes that the surgeon obviously has surgeries, makes scars, cuts on people, stitches them back together and sends them home. And so he was tired of sending home patients with scars. So here's an example of a carpal tunnel surgery that he did before and after with his product. And so he started formulating and researching ingredients on his own. He's not a cosmetic chemist. He's not, working for Procter & Gamble. He's just a surgeon. He's just an old Texas surgeon. But he spent time to research what ingredients heal skin, specifically scars, specifically surgery scars. And so he would formulate it, mix it in the kitchen with Mother, D. Halbert, and just give it away. He'd give it to the patient saying, great surgery. I'm going to send this home with you. You're a guinea pig. Send me before and after picture, and we'll do our usual follow-ups post-surgery later. And that's kind of how it started. And even if you want to go back, one of his sons was actually injured in a car accident. Now, he survived. It was frightening for him and the family, obviously, but he survived. But he did need plastic surgery. So the boy had plastic surgery in face and body. And that was the true genesis of the company, of these skin products. He passionately, during plastic surgeries, in between, researched these ingredients. What will help with scar? I love my boy. I'm crying. I want his face to look better. I want him to feel better. I want me to feel better. And so it was a labor of love is what it was. And he would, I'm going to cry now, apply the scar cream on his boy. And everything worked out. Years later, the boy is a man in Dallas. He's a successful businessman with a big family, happy, happy, happy. And so sometimes good things come from bad situations. I get a little emotional because it is emotional. I mean, if I'm a parent, and if parents out there, you'll cut off your arm to help your child. Like, it doesn't matter. And so that is how this company started, was a true passion and love of children.
That's
really
awesome.
how it started. And then, on from there into the world of surgery and all that. So that was the genesis. On from there, doctor retired, once he got in his 70s. He said, that's enough of the ER work and, calling my house at 11 o'clock at night to go, fix somebody up from a gunshot wound in Texas. So he slowed down, but after, not long, he's one of these can't sit around and watch TV. So he started Clavel Corporation, and he said, we're going to make and sell the scar cream. I don't know how, I don't know where. I'm not a salesman. I'm a trained surgeon. So he started hiring salespeople to sell it. So this was the first product with ScarSoft, and they would call independent pharmacies, mail them a sample, and start that way. So that's the genesis of Clavel.
What year round was that when actually that started?
This was, sorry, I'll be sort of specific. Let me give you a date or a year anyway. So 94. So 1994, Clavel was incorporated. And that is about the time that he said, okay, we're going to get serious about this. We're going to buy a location downtown Abilene, Texas, get a mixer, get a few salespeople, and we're going to sell this stuff. And so that decision was critical, deciding instead of just giving it away, we're going to be a manufacturer, albeit a small one at the time. We're going to be a manufacturing company. And so what are we at 30 years later? Plus, we're a successful company, and we have products at Walmart and Amazon, and we're on Fox and CNN and the radio, and it's a different world now for the business.
I was going to say, probably couldn't even imagine, or maybe he did imagine that to fulfill that vision someday and everywhere.
Yeah, he's the dreamer, right? So that's how serial entrepreneurs operate. This is going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread. So he did imagine. He didn't know how to get there. So he decided just to hire his way there. So he'd get salespeople and accountants and get people in the, he got how do you start a cosmetic factory? So he found a guy that ran a candy factory. We used to have a candy factory down the road here in Texas. He said, well, if you can mix and make and ship candy, I bet you can do lotions and creams. The guy said, sure. And so he started the lotion company that is now competing with Johnson & Johnson and Procter & Gamble. So
wow.
That's just, it's a made in America story through and through.
The doctor, started and saw the opportunity and hired the salespeople and started calling on it. Where'd the business go from there? Like, did it get traction right away? Did it take a while? Like, what happened then?
The next stage of the company was he was doing Scar, but he watched an infomercial, and it was cream called Blue Stuff. It was made in Oklahoma, and it was a shocking commercial, a very interesting, where a person applied this blue cream on in a wheelchair. The person pops up like Benny Hinn style, like pops up. I'm healed by the Savior of this Blue Stuff cream, and and so Doc is watching that like, are you kidding me? And he said, well, I can do that. I mean, I could already have a cream company, a lotion, body lotion company. I can do that. So now he's researching menthol and emi oil and MSM, glucosamine, all these things that help with joints and mobility and soreness. As it turned out, that company got canceled. So the FTC came in and said, you just put a national TV ad out with someone jumping out of a wheelchair, Benny Hinn style, like Jesus is coming now to save you and fix you. And you can't do that. You can't put that on TV. And so the feds actually gave them a warning letter. They ended up shutting down because they were above their skis, I guess is the saying. And so Doc said, well, let's slow down. Let's start with ingredients and let's start with the formula. He went back to his wheelhouse of study and ingredients, and then came out with Blue Stop Max for topical relief. And that was kind of the next stage of the company. Oh, we have something new. If you have a surgery, you need it for a few months, then it's over. But if you're dealing with joints and aches, that's forever. I mean, people take Advil forever. People need Icy Hot forever. Let's get into the forever business if we're going to
Yeah.
be in this business. It's an evergreen category, this topical analgesic category, and that's what he chose. And then kind of off from there. And then there's 100 stories from there of, you have a product, cool. What are you going to do with it? Right now, it's sitting in your factory. Do you want it in Walmart? Do you want it in the truck stop? So his next secret was he hired a bang up salesman. He's a radio man. So he had a great radio voice, big personality, almost a John Belushi type, wow, salesman personality. And so he said, I'm going to get in truck stops. So he would get in TA, Petro, and Love's truck stop, all these truck stops. And he would sell this jar. And then he did like a twin pack jar and started getting large orders. Like, wow, we could sell to chains in the truck stop industry. So that told David, we can do this. If I hire the right salespeople, get people in place that know they can sell. He can't sell. He saves lives, but he's not a salesman. But he found people that have this special sauce to talk to people. And sales is still a people business. And so that was the secret of hiring this Tom Bell. And he proved the fact that this can sell in chains and not just your Joe's Pharmacy. So that was the next stage of the business.
Yeah. And then I think, when we got hooked up together and we started working with you guys, I think at that time, you just kind of started getting into a little bit of retail. I think you guys were in Sam's Club or on samsclub.com at the time, right? And like on Amazon, obviously. And I know, obviously, with a product like yours, right, any kind of product like that has kind of wide distribution, all of a sudden other people are putting it on Amazon, so you have that whole thing as well. So talk to us about that from kind of where the business was at that time to maybe kind of where things are at today, kind of that whole journey. And also when you kind of got, obviously I don't want to gloss over your history with the company, but also where did you get involved?
Been with the company for about 19 years now, coming on 20 years. So yeah, all this was happening. Doc was running this small business. I was, either in college at UNT. I worked 5 years for the Dallas Mavericks. I started on the street team, and then I sold season tickets for Mark Cuban. So this was back in the kind of Sean Bradley, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash. It was the pre-2011 title run, which, by the way, Mavericks title run, that's happening right now. I'm juiced and ready to go.
Nice.
So I did 5 years under Cuban, and of course I had a direct sales manager, but I certainly had some osmosis training from being around Mark Cuban around, and that spirit of entrepreneurship and smiling, and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do something today, and it's going to be different, and we're going to change the world. So here I have these influences in my life. I have this attorney father, I have this surgeon stepfather, and now I'm around Mark Cuban for 5 years. And so I'm getting these people that is telling me you can do anything. Anything you want to do, you can do it. You put your mind to it, you can do it. And you're doing it excitement with gusto, and you're going to get a team, and you're going to get them excited, and you're going to have fun, and you're going to make money. And so these are the influences in my life that I'm learning from as I go. So I got my MBA at University of Dallas. So got all my accounting and finances and kind of understood what a business is and what it has to be successful. And then I came home back to West Texas, and I began working here. So at the time, we were selling to a mom and pop pharmacy, maybe a truck stop, but we were at this kind of stage where we sort of hit a cap. It was before the dot-com boom, before Amazon boom. And, Doc said, I want to get in Walmart or Sam's, or I want to get somewhere big. And I'm like, so do I. I want to grow this business. So what I did to get my first big chain was Sam's Club. So we have a Sam's Club in Abilene. I was on the west side of Abilene. I called, set a proper meeting with the store manager. Came in, brought my accountant, and we sold them on the jar, the Blue Stop 2-ounce jar, and like a little twin pack, like 2 jars. Of course, you have to be special for Sam's, so twin pack. I would get it on I got approval. He said, why not? You're, Texas boy. We'll take care of our own. Give it a shot. If it sells, you can stay. If it doesn't sell, it's going to go. I said, fair deal. And so I would start to hand it out pouches, like little freebie samples at Sam's Club by the pharmacy. So I say, hey, Here's a sample. Buy this. Made in Texas. I'm a Texas boy. Made down the road. Support local jobs. So, I was in people's ear at Sam's. And so we blew it out of the water. Then I started hiring my friends, then official sampling teams to do it. I went to Fort Worth and had a meeting with the district manager of pharmacy, Sam's Club, Dallas Fort Worth. Busy guy. It was basically a walking meeting. So we were, walking. He's like, okay, kid, what do you got? What are your numbers? What are you doing in Abilene? Like, bang, bang, bang. And he's like, you know what? You drove out here. You gave me respect. You asked for a meeting. How about 20 stores? So I got 20 stores in Dallas, Fort Worth, Sam's. At that time, we graduated to the big jumbo. So the big, giant bottle of Blue Stop Max. And so that's what we got in there, 20 stores. Same deal. I would hire an outside sampling team, teach people how to sell Blue Stop, tell them that menthol's in it and it's safe and it's great and it's made by a doctor. So I trained them, and then they just took over Dallas Fort Worth Sam's and then blew it out of the water. Finally, I made it to Arkansas at the home office in Bentonville at Sam's Club. And so the buyer sat down, and he's busy, right? And I'm just this young guy, and he's like, whatever. And so he's like, he's on his computer. And he's like, did you say you're doing a test in Texas? I'm like, yes, sir. And then here's my dad. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't do tests. We don't do like backdoor. We don't do like salesmen in a truck ringing the back door. We're Sam's Club. Do you know we're the sister of Wall? And so he was like ready to chop me, cut the meeting, cut the product. You're a sleazy salesperson ringing the back door at Sam's. But I said, will you check the data? So click, click, click. He checks the data and he says, your sell-through is good. It's good enough. So he's like, all right, I'm going to take you in. But he said, Jason, don't ring any more doorbells at the back door of Sam's, please, for the respect of me. This is good between me and you on a corporate level. We're to decide store. And then from there, we're able to grow the right way, the Sam's way, growing store count. And Sam's is funny. You'll get all the stores and then half the stores. And then the store count kind of goes up like depending on your sales. And then we started buying demos and Mabel behind the table, which is the sweet lady that she normally samples food, but we can pay her to sample the OTC. And we did that.
Yeah.
Then we did the Prios. It's a robot done. It took off. And that's kind of how we did it. Trial and error, asking nicely, smiling. You can always ask for forgiveness, but you got to try and get out there. If you're in sales, go sell.
Yeah.
And apologize later. And so that was my philosophy that I took. And that's a Mark thing. That's Mark. Mark Hughes like, I'm going to buy the Mavericks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to yell at referees. I'm going to get fined. Well, I'm taking that attitude in my little nutshell in Texas. I'm going to sell. I'm going to get in Walmart and I'll apologize later. Find me later. And so it matches my personality. So.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, just talking to you about it now, and I think you're in a good way selling yourself short a little bit on the just getting into the store, because actually when you started talking that story about going to the store and talking to I'm like, Sam's Club does that, or maybe they used to do that, or like, if you just talk to the store manager and they're saying, we'll put it in there, that's wild. That's awesome. I mean, obviously sold them on it, right? I mean, it just they probably get that all the time.
Human nature, and it's about control, and some people are more control. And you work in corporate America, there's a lot of control freaks in corporate America. So it's very political as you climb the ladder and meet bigger and bigger stars in corporate America that they want control. You got to give them respect. You got to show up on time. You got to do all those things. You got to play the game. And so that's what we do. But it all comes down to great product, great price, great promotion, great offering, and then meet the customer where they want to shop, which is your whole business. Is a lot of people want to shop on .com, Amazon.com. And so that's where we ended up with Charmac.
We kind of glossed over. You talked a little bit about obviously what the product does and other, but give me an example of everyday use, right? Is this and people are applying this stuff daily? Is that typically the use that you're seeing, or give me a couple of use cases of when people use it?
Right. So I gotta be careful with my words. So since I am not a drug company, I am not Procter & Gamble. I got to be real careful because I work in the realm of their cosmetic factory and FDA. But we're able to use useful words still. Triple action relief for joints and muscles, 100% natural, menthol, emu oil, and aloe. Honestly, this really does help with aches and joints. Menthol, Icy Hot made menthol famous. Emu oil, Blue Emu made emu oil famous. So what the
Yeah.
doctor did here, he just mashed it up, the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So you get menthol and you get emu oil. The emu oil penetrates into joints and muscles, acts as almost a lubricant for joints and knees and backs and hands. Plus, the doctor sprinkles in MSM, glucosamine, cetylated fatty acid. MSM, glucosamine are famous supplements. People have been taking those for 100 years for joint mobility. So it is just action-packed topical lotion, and we stick it by the biofreeze and the icy hot, and we do very, very well. A lot of it's because our packaging is different. This is a giant pump bottle. Most brands are still like a 3 ounce or a 2.5 ounce. This is 16 ounces. This is like lifetime supply. We're kind of crazy for some of this stuff, but it catches your eye. When it's next to, say a 3 ounce something, customers like, whoa, their eyes drawn to it. So like, it's $23.88, but it'll last me. It's a value buy. I'm going to buy it. Plus, we've coming out with new things, massager top, like a silicone massager top. Found this in Europe, this packaging, and it's like an airless pump almost, but it's hands-free. You don't have to wash your hands. 3.4 ounce, so good for playing, the car, gym bag, purse, whatever. And we are expanding our product line. We are coming out with a lidocaine product, and it is a 4% lidocaine. Now, we did sign a sister OTC factory in Dallas that is now putting this out. So Taylor, with you guys, is very excited. We're going to be launching this on Amazon. We've actually already placed it at Wegmans up in New York and have other folks looking at it now. And it is a roller ball. It smells good. All of our stuff smells good. There's a lot of competitors smell like rubbing alcohol. It's like gross. Why? You don't want that all over your body just for a little relief. So all our stuff smells great, smells fruity. I'll have to mail you a bottle. But so this is our next play into the OTC realm, which is the actual drug facts realm that customers are used to reading. Lidocaine 4%, menthol 1%. So that's something we can put on our Amazon ads, our Walmart.com ads, and then place on the shelf everywhere from Walmart to CVS and all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is kind of the next stage of the company is growing our product line and increasing our product pipeline.
That's awesome. And yeah, I mean, you guys have seen a ton of success the last couple of years. I'm obviously on Amazon, and we're happy to, we're not going to take all the credit, right? I mean, but like, we're happy to help and grow. But you guys do a lot of work on your side, right? And I always believe that for brands, it's you said you got to be everywhere, right? So one channel helps another one. If you're in retail and they find you here, they might buy you once in retail, but then all of a sudden they're looking on Amazon to buy it again, or vice versa. I bought it on Amazon and now I see it at Sam's Club or whatever it is. So I'm a big believer that you got to be omni-channel. And I guess, you guys have grown a lot over the last couple of years as far as your reach and stores. And now you're just talking about making different decisions, right? I'm like, how do you make those decisions? Like where you go next or where you put those dollars? So you were kind of using the advertising we were talking earlier as an example, but like, is it kind of a educated guess? Is it, you crunch the numbers, or how specifically do you make those decisions?
Yeah, we're a great topical. So there's a history of other brands in this OTC topical analgesic world, and they've showed us a roadmap for success. So national television, national radio, TPR on shelf, and then now the world of social and .com and and influencers. And when I first started, I'm like, influencer, I'll never afford Kim Kardashian $1 million a post. But there's so many people out there that'll cut videos on their iPhone for cheap, for not much at all, just because they're a stay-at-home wife and they have some free time while kids are at school, and that's how they make money. They do product reviews. I can tell this for your clients, Billow. Everybody, if you want to do social media, go to Billow, Billow. And this is where you find people, men and women, all shapes and sizes and ages, and you can send them your product and they'll cut videos, and they're, personable people, and they'll talk about, and they'll give them, you can give them a script of what you want to say.
Yeah.
You can cut that, put it on social media. And at that point you can boost this post, you can put it on your Amazon video, whatever you want to do with it. It's your content. So that's kind of been our secret sauce on the digital realm right now. Of course, we're still learning.
It sounds like you guys have spent a lot of time developing these new products, right? You've obviously taken a lot of your success and building upon it, and getting more SKUs there? Because obviously, as you know, once you have a lot of these relationships established, right, you can say to, this retail, this distributor, hey, we also have this, right? And we can put this on the shelf and this is what it's doing in these other channels. What does your day look like, Dace? Like, what do you spend your time on? What's a typical day look like in your world?
I like traveling for sales meetings. So this week I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, Salisbury, North Carolina specifically. Once you fly to Charlotte, you pretty much can go anywhere in your rental car in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had a Food Line meeting this week and it went very, very well. Food Line is huge. If anyone that has ever lived in the Carolinas or the South, they're like 1,400 stores. They're like omnipresent. If you don't go to Walmart, you go to Food Line. And so, great meeting. It was the first meeting they've given me in person in ever. And so, but these people run on data. So they see we're in Walmart, they see our national TV, and they see that Blue Star Max is claiming. So they grant me the meeting. And we get there, and I think I knocked it out of the park. Two ladies, and we went over the massager, the 8-ounce pump, and kind of the pricing schemes that they do to compete with Walmart. And I think I got the sale, fingers crossed. So
Yeah.
I'm at my best when I'm in front of decision makers where I can grow my company. And I'm only at my best because of my team. And then my team will prepare me. We have selling books, we have IRI data, we have charts and graphs, and we have our selling story. And we have our advertising plan. We have it buttoned up. And I still like a printed out selling book to take to Walmart and Food Line and these people. And that's how you build personal relationships. And you find anecdotes and things that you associate with that person. Just getting to know people. Selling is still about people. And people only buy from people they like. If they don't like you or don't trust you, you're out. And you're probably never coming back. Your reputation is so important in any business, especially this business in CPG, when I am up against gorillas. Procter and
Yep.
Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, Chatham, like these people have million dollars of budgets. And so what can I do? Little old me with the mid-sized company in Texas, it's back to your offering, your ingredients, your product, your price, back to your offer. These not everybody's a Procter and Gamble, and they know that. And some people want to deal with family business. They want to do a smart, give the little guy a shot. That makes these people feel good because they would like to be treated that way. But you got to come with a strong offer and a way to make money together. And so that's what we try to do.
And looking back on the journey you've taken, the brand in general, maybe you're almost 20 years with the brand here. Like, what's one of the biggest challenges that you guys faced during that time? Like, obviously a lot of success. And I'm not, and this, right? You frame, there's a lot of trials and tribulations around building any business, right? And so maybe what's one of the biggest challenges you guys have overcome over your time since the company, and how do you overcome it?
Yeah, just kind of the whiplash effect. We'll grow and then we'll take a hit. We'll grow, we'll take a hit. We'll get in this big mega chain. I'll keep the retailer concealed, but big mega chain with big POs, and it's exciting, and people are jumping, and we're busy. And then, we're cut.
Yep.
We're cut from this big retailer. What do we do? And man, that's stress. I'm home in my bed, and I'm thinking about my work, my company finances. I'm thinking about my home finances. That's stress. It's great to be a leader. A leader also carries a lot of weight for a lot of people. Our problem was we weren't diversified enough. Like, we love brick and mortar. We'll always love brick and mortar, but we put so much into only one or two accounts and just assumed that would just kind of be our forever plan. And it's not true. You got Bob and then .com came in, and the competitive brands, the Voltaren came in with their multi-million-dollar TV buy on that network news. And so how do I defend against that? And so the answer was diversification. I need Amazon. I need Walmart. I need my own website. I need everything because I can't have everything in one pot. I'm the one that makes payroll. I'm the one that pays for our health insurance around here. And so basically, I want to sleep at night. So that means I want stability with my business. I want different sources of income. That's where we're growing into now, is diversification.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What, if there was someone starting a brand today, right, or in the beginning stages of building their company, right, whether it's in, topical pain relief or, CPG world, just to the consumer world in general, what advice would you recommend to them? What would you say to them from all your years of experience and, the vast experience you've had, which has been great?
I'll say you can do it, and I encourage you to start any business of any kind, period, especially one in this CPG world that's so much fun and opportunity. It's all about, you got to identify your skill set first. So are you a cosmetic chemist? Great. You can mix your own stuff in this world. If you're not, find someone who can, and you're not going to have the money to hire all these full-time people from day one, unless you're a trust fund baby. There are a few of those. But partner with people that can and want to help you. There's factories out there that you can get price sheets and say, yeah, we can actually make you this product. And, here's your price and here's your order minimums. And we can start out small with 2,500 units and tell me what you would like in your formula, what you'd like in your product. And then they'll sign with you. There's some companies that'll do that. And then you could kind of grow slowly with them. But just on a selling phase, go to .com immediately. Turn on your website, your Shopify, find you a good Amazon and Walmart.com partner. Obviously, Expert CPG likes to say they're the best. I think they're the best. That's why I've signed with them. But then get out there and beat the street on brick and mortar. Walmart ain't going away. Costco ain't going away. Calling these people. And you don't have to fill every store tomorrow. People let you do a test. I've found stores that let me do a 50 store test and see how it goes. Just get out there and work your product with passion. If you have a coffee or food, bring your food, serve people free samples, be passionate about it. And I think it could be done. And I would want to encourage everybody.
Yeah, no, great wisdom, great words to live by. So, Jason, this has been awesome. Tell us before we wrap up here, where can people find Blue Stop Max? You mentioned already some of the places, but where can people find that, Scarsoft, and the products, and find you if they want to connect with you?
Right. So I'd love for everyone here listening to this to buy Blue Stop Max. It is sold nationwide at Walmart and CVS and Walgreens, down here in Texas at HEB, up north at Wegmans in New York. We're on Amazon.com every day. Expert CPG actually runs my Amazon business, so we're there every day. And we're growing. So we're always able to send people free samples to try it. A lot of these products are try before you buy. No problem there. And feel free to reach out to me. Any other CEOs and CPG or just people with questions, or I don't know who could be watching this. Maybe college kids that are dreaming of being an entrepreneur. Happy to encourage you. I've had mentors. I still have mentors. Happy to mentor somebody out there that has a product, passion for products. My email is dason@clavel.com, dason@clavel.com. Always happy to encourage people, because I've never done this alone. I'm standing on the shoulder of giants. I had a surgeon to build these formulas. I had an accountant to start the business. I have plant managers that are obsessed with product quality. And so at this point, I'm just standing on the shoulder of giants, and I'm trying to make strategic financial decisions to keep this baby growing and moving for a long, long time.
Yeah, well, first of all, an awesome offer to the audience, and thank you for that. But obviously you can tell you're doing this in the right way and being humble, but you've obviously put a ton of work into it as well. So that's definitely not lost on us. So thanks so much for sharing the whole Clavel story. I definitely learned a few things I didn't know about the Clavel story before. So it's always great to learn a few new things about our clients. And thanks so much for coming on today, Jason. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Take care. Wow, what a great conversation with Jason Williams from Clavel Corporation. Thanks so much to Jason for being on today and telling his whole story of not only the Clavel Corporation, but his personal story. I had no idea that he used to work for Mark Cuban and the Mavericks. So that was a cool story to hear. And I love talking to our clients out here, because I get to hear a few other things you maybe don't talk about at the normal day-to-day work of Amazon strategy. So again, thanks for Jason for coming on today. And, hopefully you got a lot of value from this episode. The best thing you can do for us is just, rate us, review us, like us, subscribe on whatever platform you're consuming this on, watching it, listening to it. It really helps grow the podcast. And, maybe, again, you have a friend or someone in the industry that could benefit from hearing this. Dason gave some great insight and some great offers even too to help me mentor folks. So please share that with them. And thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Expert CPG Commerce Podcast.